So hey YouTube, it's been quite a while since I did a video on my fat bike. I made a new addition to it last year actually. Put a Mastidon Pro on the front and we'll go out into the riverbed, ride over a bunch of boulders and see how it works, because honestly I've been pretty underwhelmed with it, particularly for how much money it cost. I don't think it was worth it. So it was like 2 springs ago, I had a ride in conditions similar to this. A lot of rocks, I had my rigid fork on there. And, you know, it's definitely rough. And so it got in my head, I'm like, oh, a suspension fork would be a nice addition. And so I watched, see what I could find. Something on sale. I ended up getting this off Amazon because they do free shipping here to Alaska. I don't remember what I think I paid close to $600 for this fork. It's really the most expensive bike fork I've ever bought. So my biggest complaint is the lockout. To me it doesn't work very well. So if I well, let's see, before I do that, so that's the low speed, and I have it like halfway. You can see it works. So if I go and lock it out, can you see the movement? I still have up and down movement. Let's see if I lock out. See if the high speed, I can, that's as far as that'll go. And maybe that's normal. Yeah, maybe that's just fine. It annoys me. I mean, a lockout, I want it to be completely rigid. If I lock it out, I want it locked out. And the reason being is when I'm riding in snow, and I'm riding in real soft conditions and the whole bike's moving up and down, that fork bobbing is taking power away from me. So I was really disappointed in that. The other thing, it's an air fork. I'm not a fan of air forks. I just am not. I never will be on anything. It's just more complicated than it needs to be. So that being said, that's the way it is. That's how this thing's made. But I didn't have any choice unless I wanted to buy some piece of junk RST. So anyway, so overall, I've only ridden a fork less than a year. It seems like, well, I can't really say I haven't had to put enough time. I haven't had any problems with it. Nothing's leaking. I was really happy that this is the first time I've ridden this bike since, last spring. I haven't messed with the air pressure, so I was really glad it held air, and it seems to be fine. So that's good news. So I'm gonna keep riding here, see what other thoughts come to mind. As far as torsional stability, I have the tire between my legs. It's pretty stiff. It's I didn't notice it being like a noodle or anything, so that's good news. I'll continue down the riverbed here. You ready? One thing I noticed is I want to reduce the travel on the fork. I think it's in a 4-inch travel mode, and I want to switch it to 3-inch travel because the pole already has a pretty raked out head tube angle, which I like. It's nice and stable. Well, this is longer than my stock fork, so the front end's raised up a little bit more than it was stock. So one of these days I'll get around to taking the fork apart and changing the travel. It looked a little more complicated. Well, actually it looked a lot more complicated than what I expected it to be. So I just need to go and do that. It has plenty of tire clearance. I've run 2XL tires on this bike before. That was an important factor for me. I needed to make sure that this fork could fit the big tires I have. And so it'll do that. But otherwise, I guess the ultimate thing is it worth the money? I mean, it's just fat bike stuff. Fat bike stuff. There isn't a lot of it out there, and it's expensive. So, but then I guess all the suspension fork stuff has really gone up in price. You know, so I still think it was overpriced for what it was. But at least I have it. Who knows? They could quit making a damn thing, and I would have regretted not buying one. So if you're thinking about getting one, I guess make sure that the lockout is something you're comfortable with, and otherwise, I don't have a real extensive review on it. I haven't really put a ton of time on the fork, but it's been working fine for me. Oh, and there you go. There's the sticker. So this was the EXT version. Yeah, that was it. If you can see that there. Look at that. You can see all the dust blowing off Low River. The wind's supposed to get up to like 40 miles an hour tonight, so our beautiful blue sky, this is all gonna go away. It'll just be dusty here and kind of miserable, actually. Just want snow. You want snow, right? Yeah. Looks so excited. So I need to make an update. I'm out of the sun, so it's going to be a little colder. And I noticed back by the ocean and on sections of this trail that my fork feels softer than it did just out in the riverbed. So I don't think I was correct when I said it didn't lose any air pressure over the summer. Yeah, it just kind of reinforces my my bias against air forks. Anyway, won't get into that. So just something to keep in mind. I'll continue riding through here. You ready? Hey, you ready to go? So I am definitely bottoming out. My little rubber thing must be up above the limit of travel, but I can feel it clunk. It's annoying. It's annoying. Anyway, so I'll need to go and adjust the air pressure in it.